Hi, I'm Dan. Welcome to Sky Pilot Quest. Look, in the world of Superman comics, one of the most famous villains that Superman has to face is Bizarro. Bizarro looks just like Superman. Well, if Superman had been turned into a zombie version of himself. Bizarro comes from a world in which everything is reversed from our world. It's illegal to be good or be kind. And in the world of pop culture, you will sometimes hear someone make a reference to feeling like they are living in Bizarro world, meaning that the rules have suddenly changed and confusingly been flipped. And the current American political landscape can pretty accurately be described as Bizarro world. For a long time in American politics, the roles were pretty familiar and consistent. Liberals were usually the ones who were pushing for change. Conservatives were usually the ones saying, slow down, be careful, don't tear apart the institutions that hold our country together. And that was the basic rhythm. Liberals often looked at institutions, the courts, the Constitution, the Senate, law enforcement, the whole machinery of government, and said, if the system is blocking justice, then the system needs to be changed. Conservatives, by contrast, were more likely to say, look, these institutions may be imperfect, but they exist for a reason. Don't wreck them in a rush to fix things. But now we're living through a very strange twist in American politics, because in many ways, those roles have been scrambled. Actually, I should just say reversed. Today, a big part of the political right, especially the red hat MAGA world, is no longer acting like the guardians of the institutions. It attacks the courts when judges disagree. It attacks elections when results are unwelcome. It attacks the FBI, the Justice Department, the civil service, any institution that gets in the way of the movement and its leader. Now, liberals, of all people, often find themselves defending those very same institutions, not because liberals suddenly think those institutions are perfect, because they don't, but because they now see them as guardrails, as barriers against raw personal power striving to be unleashed, as perhaps the last remaining defense standing between constitutional government and a system that demands loyalty to one man. And that's the twist. The people who once said, change the system, are often now saying, protect the system before it's too late. And the people who once said, preserve our institutions, are now often the loudest voices trying to break them. So this is no longer just a fight between the left and the right. It's a fight between people who believe the law should set the limits of power and those who believe that power should define the limits of the law. When power comes before the Constitution, the roles haven't just changed, they've been reversed, and we are indeed living in Bizarro world.